Alright guys, let's get started so we can get going. Tonight we're going to be talking about, the title of our lesson is going to be, Dare You to Move. And we're going to be discussing compassion, ways that we can make a difference in someone that might be having a hard time, whether it be at school or in your community somewhere, ways that we can make a difference and show them the love of Christ. So, to start out guys, what is our job as Christian people or followers of Christ? Anybody?
Love our neighbor as ourselves.
Yes, very good answer. Anybody else?
Spread the word.
Spread the word, yeah. Those are great answers, and those are probably better answers than what I even have. And I was going to say, you know, kind of a churchy type answer, you know, like the be the hands and feet of Christ, and you know, that type of thing. And I think a lot of times we do get answers that we rehearse a lot of times in our churches, and in but they become almost, you know, robotic type answers. And so I just want to dig a little deeper and kind of figure out, what does it mean to be a follower? First, we're going to do what did we talk about a few weeks ago? The last of our lesson, something is worth the fight. Do we remember what we were talking about? It was about 3 weeks ago. Love. Yes, very, very much. And we talked about love being worth the fight, and we touched on several different things, but you know, the main thing in that was loving someone like you love yourself. You know, putting other people first, putting the person that maybe that doesn't deserve it, but and I use some people in my past that probably don't deserve my forgiveness or me to, you know, be nice to them or whatever. But it's not about what, you know, I think they deserve. It's what God says they deserve. So we're going to talk just a little bit about love and compassion. So when we talk about love here, we're talking about what? Just like we said, treating another person like we would want to be treated. What was the other answer that someone said?
You said sharing how you want.
Yes, and we just have to continue to treat people the way Christ treated people, and that's sometimes the hard part, at least for me, because He treated people that everyone else said were bad. He treated them as if, you know, they were just like everyone else, and they deserved the same amount of respect. Yeah, and that was a no-no. That would be like me going to, you know, a prison and, you know, going on death row and just hanging out and meeting friends. You know, those people were thought of as the same way, because what the tax collector was, is he was a Jew, but he worked for the Roman government.
Does anybody know who was a well-known tax collector in the Bible?
Matthew.
Very good. Very good.
You know the little song about Zacchaeus?
No.
I was thinking of that. I was trying to think the other way.
You don't know the song about Zacchaeus?
No.
He was a wee little man? No?
Nope.
Alright, well, we're gonna talk tonight. We talk about love, and this is a verse that I'm going to use, guys. And it's Jesus, and he's talking to them, and he's telling them, I have a new command for you. And he's talking to his disciples, and he's teaching them the normal things, you know, love your neighbor yourself, you know, the things that he's taught over and over again. But he says, I have a new command to give you: love one another as I have loved you. So you must love one another. By this, everyone will know that you are my disciples, if you love one another. This is the important part here at the bottom, guys. When we say, everyone will know you from your love. When we love people that don't necessarily deserve it, that's uncommon, isn't it? When we find people that are someone at school that might not have a lot of money, they might not have a lot of friends, they might not have a lot of things that people, you know, associate with good or popular or things like that. But when we love those people, when we spend time with them, when we do things that are that no one else is willing to do, guys, that is when people start noticing, because they're starting to say, why does he do something for them when no one else does? Why do we do stuff for people that don't deserve it? The people that other people, not necessarily that they don't deserve it, but people don't think that they deserve it. Why do we do those things? Yes, very good. Go ahead. Did you have something? You're gonna
Hey,
say
I want to ask you guys, how can you brighten a person's day by showing love or compassion? Wait, we're gonna start with you, Blake. What can you do to do a nice gesture or something like that? How can you show love towards someone? Whether it be your sister or your family or a friend, what is something that you can do? Wait a minute. Do you know? You want to skip?
not hit him in the face.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Okay, go.
Compliment someone.
Yes. That is a very good one. What about you?
Shut up.
Say the same thing.
Yes, or like smile. Just like going down the hall at somebody, even if they're not cute. You know what I'm talking about? Just kidding.
Smile at people that
Just a simple smile.
Yeah, let's go around the room, guys. Matt, what could you do that could show God's love to someone in your school or in your house?
Give them a hug.
Give them a hug.
That's very good, Matt.
That's good, Matt.
Josh,
Yeah, turn it up.
what?
Big white kids.
How about helping a classmate with homework that needs it?
Give them a love note.
If they're not understanding what's going on, even if nobody else
Christ
is.
loves them.
That's
I
right.
said that
So go
Give
ahead.
them $2,000.
already. Said that already. Preach God.
You have to go without two.
Decide
I
not.
got her.
You want something to drink?
All right, so guys, we're saying that we can help them with their homework. We can, invite them to sit with you at lunch. We can do things that basically show them that they're wanted and that they're loved and that they mean something to God. Somebody have a question?
Can you say like Christ loves them?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, I think that's perfect. That we can tell them that Christ loves them. And the thing is, guys, is this right here. And my question would be, what would that love look like? And I think we hit on it. And my kind of comment was going to be, do we have to go around like Jack and Matt said and hug on people and kiss them and tell them we love them and sing Kumbaya with them and tell them everything's going to be okay. Those things are important. That we tell people that we love them and things like that. But those aren't the most important thing. We demonstrate, guys. We demonstrate our love for Christ through compassion. Does anyone, want to venture a guess on what compassion is? Just the generic, you don't have to be the exact definition, but what is it? Go ahead, Isaac. Have feelings for people? I mean,
That's
it.
good.
That you care.
Yes.
Yes.
It's very good.
Yeah. Anybody else? Yeah, go ahead.
My bullets help me learn bullets. Ask them to stop and say, hey, that we got this and say a bunch of nice things.
Yeah, I think that compassion, guys, and I looked up the definition and it said, basically, compassion is the concern for the suffering and well-being of others, or misfortunes of others. So, if I see someone that doesn't have any clothes, or they don't have anything to eat, and I have a full pizza at school, what would be a good thing for me to do? They don't have any lunch money that day. Share it with them. It's not. We're not building rockets. I'm not sharing a bowl with anybody.
There's no bowl in America.
She might. I don't know.
Hey, go get something to drink.
Yeah.
But guys, that is when we talk about compassion and really the next slide that I have kind of hits on it, and it's a quote from a guy named Brad Warren, and he says, "Compassion is the ability to see the need, see what needs doing right." Compassion is the ability to see what needs doing right now, and the willingness to do it right now. So when I see a need, I don't say, "Okay, that guy doesn't have anything to eat. I've got a full pizza, but I'm late to go talk to my friend outside, so I'm going to just keep on moving and act like I didn't see it." Because guys, I think that is more common than you will ever know. That even Christian people will see a need, and what do? We try to say, "Oh, well, there's another church that'll meet that need."
Turn your head.
Yeah. We kind of look away, and we do not want to be inconvenienced.
Once the
Go ahead.
food is played,
So loud. I'm seriously good.
And that's why we're going to have to move to a different night, guys. But we'll take care of that. And you know, the main thing when I talk about this compassion is being willing to make a difference.
Chloe. I'm so sorry.
That's all right. Go ahead, Charlie.
Stop
when you say like they walk by and they usually shake their head, it's like being lazy instead of deciding oh yeah, something.
Right, and that's exactly it. And it is laziness, and it's just a lack of concern for other people. And that is not what Christ calls us to be, is to be only looking out for ourselves. We're supposed to put others before ourselves. So when we talk about compassion, we want to think about someone that is making a difference. Someone that is trying to see a need and to fix that need. So they're saying, "How can I help?" So if I were to see that kid that's hungry, what do I do?
Feed him.
Thank you. If I see someone that is poor
Feed him.
and they don't,
They're
you
cold.
say beat them?
Feed him.
Alexis, come on.
Trying to get away from that.
Get your sister some anger management courses.
Yes.
Issues. But guys, the main thing is not,
They're together.
you know, just showing a lack of concern for other people, guys, is not what we're supposed to do as Christians and followers of Christ. It's about as far from it as possible. So, has anyone ever heard the story of the
Yes.
Good Samaritan?
Yes.
Well, somebody give me a brief synopsis about the Good Samaritan and what
You already told us the story.
what is it?
How the guy, there was
Oh,
a
never mind.
priest, the
What is
guy in the wrong, like, for
Okay.
the
Yeah.
wrong road. The
Yeah.
guy was like stripped and beat.
Yes.
Yes. Very
And
good.
left on the road, and the priest passed by him, right? And just like hurt his head.
Yes.
And so there was
Hey, y'all are really loud.
Come on now.
Sorry.
and just a normal person went up inside of the house.
That's awesome, man. And Trey,
Very good,
what's
Trey.
good about that is because that's not something that I discussed. That's something Dan discussed in Sunday church.
That is
So,
right. That is
so guys,
right.
that is awesome that you're picking up on things that you're learning in the adult service, because most of the time, guys, I don't even think you guys are paying attention to the things that are going on Sunday morning. You're cutting up and all that, and I understand that. When I was your age, I did a lot of that too. But there's a lot of knowledge that can be gained in listening to what Dan has to say on Sunday morning. So, the Good Samaritan was the man that actually showed compassion and actually put that person up that was beat up, took him to the inn, told the innkeeper that, you know, I'm going to pay for this guy's stay, and if it's anything more than what I have to give you, I'll come back and pay the rest when I come back through town. So, he was putting that man that he didn't even know ahead of himself. And that is something that I don't always do it. I mean, I'm more likely to do it for someone that I know really well. If I see someone in need that I know well, and maybe it's someone that comes to youth group or someone that I go to church with, either here or in Midland, I might be a lot better. But if somebody comes up to me on the street and says, you know, I have this issue, I might have less of a want to just drop everything I have and do that. So I talked earlier about someone that wants to make a difference, and this is, I refer to this as a difference maker. Someone that is in their school, it would be the one that is constantly going out of their way to help someone maybe that doesn't have a lot of friends, someone that maybe is bullied at school. So the difference maker, guys, is going to be someone that actually tries to make a difference in someone's life. So, Hillary, are you going to read that verse that we talked about? Or?
Okay, it's on page 110.
In your Bibles.
In your Bible.
It's upside down.
Are y'all there? Might call on you to read.
Dude, I want to read. I know.
Awesome. So it's Matthew 9 verses 35 through 38, and in your Bible it's page 110.
110.
Yes.
Can I read?
Yes. Who said that?
Me.
I want to read too.
Matt said that. Matt wants to read.
Gosh, I don't. What's the way? Matthew 9, what's the first numbers?
35 through 38. Let me read it, and then y'all can read yours, okay? It says, "Then Jesus went about all the cities and villages, teaching in their synagogues, preaching the gospel of the kingdom, and healing every sickness and every disease among the people. But when he saw the multitudes, he was moved with compassion for them, because they were weary and scattered, like sheep having no shepherd. Then he said to his disciples, 'The harvest truly is plentiful, but the laborers are few. Therefore pray the Lord of the harvest to send out laborers into his harvest.'"
Okay, did anyone catch that key word in there that we were discussing?
Harvest.
Not harvest, but I'll talk about that here in just a moment.
Labor.
Compassion.
Yes.
Compassion, very good.
That's it.
So, when we talked about compassion, and the thing is about this, guys, is we learn about compassion here, first-hand knowledge from the greatest difference maker of all time. And that would be Christ himself, and someone that was able to make a difference, not just in my life because I'm able to have fellowship with God because he was willing to die for me, but also while he was on earth, he showed compassion and gave me an example in order to show me the way I'm supposed to treat people. And it says that he saw people that were confused and scattered and things like that, and they were basically going through a lot of issues. It says that they were like sheep without a shepherd. So, if someone, what does sheep without a shepherd do? Anyone?
They stray.
They go astray, and exactly the way that when Jesus was actually taken to the cross, and even after he was crucified, guys, the disciples all scattered. Christ is known as the Great Shepherd, and when we start talking about any of us, if we start getting out of the Word of God and we stop going to church and things like that, it's a lot easier to stray off and to get on a path that God, expects us to, definitely expects us to stay on. So when we talk about things in here, we're going to talk about the harvest. Thank you, Alexis, for talking about the harvest, because you started on that too. And he said, then he said to them, "The harvest truly is great, but the laborers are few. Therefore, pray that the Lord of the harvest to send out laborers." So when we're talking about the harvest, what are we talking about? Am I talking about a field?
No.
What am I talking about? No. So, if I'm talking about a harvest, I'm talking about all these people here. The multitudes of people that do not have a relationship with Christ, and they're looking for.
So the opposite.
Every day.
Well, not necessarily. I don't think it's the opposite necessarily a Christian. I think it's someone that doesn't know. I think there's more people out there that just don't know any better, don't know anything about Christ. They know what people have told them that aren't Christian, but they don't have any first-hand knowledge from someone that actually is a Christian and has told them that Christ has really changed their life and it's given them benefit. I think a lot of people think that there's just, we believe in this fairy tale person and he's, we just believe in this storybook and there's no benefit to it. So, when there's no benefit to it, it's hard for people to invest any time in it at all. So, that is going to be the harvest. That's what so, Josh, help is wanted. Who are the laborers?
People.
Christians.
Yes, thank you. Very good. So, we are the laborers. So what did it say about the laborers in that passage? Anyone? That they're what?
Workers.
They're workers, but they're few. And the thing is, guys, is the fact that they're not just few. A lot of them are unwilling to do what Christ has called them to do. So they're not just, they're not difference makers. I think they're space takers. They're someone that wants to be a Christian in title. They want to be known as a good person. They want the title of someone that's good, quote unquote good, but they don't want to make a difference. They don't want to invest any time in someone's life to change someone's life and to give them a better life, or at least to show them how to have a better life.
That's good. Good work.
So, when we decide, how we make a difference, what will you do when it comes down to, are you going to be a difference maker or a space taker, guys? And if you want to be a difference maker, it takes effort, and it's not something that it's not given to you. It's something that you have to put out effort and you have to invest time in people's life. If you see someone, like I said, sitting by themselves at a lunch table at school, you have to get out of your comfort zone, like we talked about, and go and talk to them. Sit down and eat with them. Invite them to your youth group. Invite them to hang out after school. And we're trying to make them comfortable.
What if you're that person?
Well,
That's me.
Listen, but listen, if you are that person, there should be Christian people in your school that are willing to do that for you. But the thing is,
Yeah, that's why Alexis is sitting next to Alyssa right now.
Yeah. Huh?
What?
Talk crap?
Yeah.
Hey guys, listen, I want you to remember this for this week. Get your notebooks right now. Get a pen.
yes, notebooks.
It's just like it came out so bad.
Are y'all ready?
Yeah.
I want you to write at the top of your notebook, I want you guys to write compassion first.
Compassion.
C-O-M-P-A-S-S-I-O-N.
If you couldn't
Need a
spell
pen?
it, I'm just making sure.
Alright, does everybody have that?
Christian, I've got it.
I got it.
Got it.
I have it.
Well, I am so glad, Josh.
Christian, I got it.
Alright, y'all ready? This is what I want you to remember for next week. To say you care, but not act, is to not care at all.
That one's longer.
Write it.
Josh, be quiet.
That's that laziness we're talking about.
I know, Josh. Come on, man.
You ready?
To say you care.
To say you care, but not act, is to not care at all. Matt, what does
But
that
to
mean?
not act is to not care at all.
What does that mean?
Well, say you care about something you don't, might as well not even say it.
Very
Can I
good.
give you an example?
Bro.
All right, guys, I'm gonna close with this final thought, and we're back to the thought about move. What are we trying to do? We're trying to move towards compassion, move towards helping that person that needs to be helped. And what are we trying to do after that? act with the purpose. What is the purpose that we're trying to act? Why are we acting with compassion?
No, because who did?
Be like Jesus.
Yes, because we're trying to imitate Christ. We are Christ followers.
You need to act like Jesus.
So when we act with a purpose, guys, we're going to be a difference maker, and we're going to actually change someone's life for the better, and actually maybe point them to God in a relationship with Him.
Through your actions.
You'll be very surprised how much difference you will make just by one random act of kindness, helping someone that knows you have no reason whatsoever to help them because you have nothing to gain in return. Go ahead, Isaac.
Actually, I had like 7 acts of kindness today.
No, you didn't.
What was one?
You weren't even in school.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it. What did you
What'd
do?
you do?
Okay. Like, I don't know, that was an exaggeration. But,
Right, at least you're honest.
yeah, I helped a bunch of kids with a project today,
See?
and then I went over to this one dude at lunch.
Very good. What'd you do, Trey?
That's not true.
Not something I did, but me, Jack, Isaac, and Alexis over there.
That's the last
We all went to like this magic show in Prop 3 where he said there's like 3 acts of kindness.
Got it. Yeah.
Hey, is it,
This is gonna be sick.
his
That's
name
very
is like Larey
good.
something?
Hey guys, this week,
I went to that show.
are y'all listening? I want your undivided attention.
Alright.
This week, Jeff and I challenge you to do just one act of random kindness to a complete stranger.
Okay.
Just to someone that you don't know. Listen, guys, that you are not going to gain anything. You're not going to get any praise. You're not going to get any money. You're not going to get anything.
And I don't want you to tell anybody but us.
That's it. You don't have to. When we do things, we're doing things to do it for God, not to be seen by other people. Because when the Bible tells us when we do things to be seen by man, we've already gained our reward.
That's right.
So when we do things to be seen by man, that is, you're going to get your reward on earth and you won't get it in heaven someday. So the main thing, guys, is just to do everything you do for the glory of God and just to glorify Him. And I guarantee you, guys, you're going to make a difference in someone's life.